You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. Thanks for listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
Well,
morning,
a
Dan.
little wet and chilly, a little wind blown.
Yeah, right?
Things are changing, switching, things getting all crazy out there. Huge day if you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, and I know you guys have seen some football.
Yeah, Heidi said that on the radio.
I saw it.
Yeah, I saw some football once. And think about this. It was 80 years ago today, 80 years ago, 1939. NBC becomes the first network to televise a pro football game.
Oh, who was playing, do you know?
Strangely enough, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
They were beaten by the Brooklyn Dodgers.
In football?
Yeah, that was a football team back then. Not for
interesting.
long, for about half a dozen years or so. Final score was 23-14, took place at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn.
So the Dodgers then went on to play baseball, or that's a whole different team?
Whole different team.
Okay. Because
John.
the Brooklyn Dodgers were also baseball for a while, right?
Yeah, they've been
Are
out
they
of
still?
L.A. for decades. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen some baseball.
Tommy Lasorda.
I've seen it.
Didn't he play for them or something?
Yeah, wow, okay.
He had some commercial that he used to do.
How about my Minnesota Vikings? They're in business Thursday night, by the way. They got the Thursday night game against the Redskins. So Adrian Peterson's going to be running against us, which is just kind of weird.
Should we be like rooting for him and stuff?
You guys can do whatever you want, man. This is kind of my wheelhouse. Well, wait a minute. Let's throw a bone to you guys. Christopher Lloyd is 80 years old today.
There we
Hey,
go.
Doc
That's
Brown.
something we understand.
There, see?
Now you're speaking my language.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
Okay, for a million, he was Doc Brown, but what was his first name in that film series?
Emmett.
Wow. Wow.
You don't know who you're talking to.
Goodness. To lead such a pointless life. I am just in awe.
Dan, I am a pretty sad, pathetic dude.
Oh,
I
no.
know way too much about that.
No, you're like me, just in different areas.
Oh, yeah.
You just have this wealth of worthless information crashing around in your head, man.
Do you want to know his dog's name, too?
Oh, wow.
Copernicus and Einstein.
Wow.
All right, let's move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It is time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on them critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Hey, a bunch of little nature freakazoids. Little radio rangers. Heidi.
Dan.
John.
Thinking of hibernating for the rest of the week. Although it's supposed to get nicer now, so it's just yucky yesterday.
Oh, yeah, going to be another a great Saturday anyway, as far as we know. Another great weekend for the big pheasant hunt. And again,
Nice.
a big welcome. Hope opening day for everyone, non-residents and residents alike, was safe and abundant. From some of the pictures I saw, it looked like some folks were having some pretty darn good luck out
I think
there.
so, too. A lot of dead birds.
Of course, last episode we talked a little bit about pheasants because, as you know, my life gets a little more sedentary, as it will, when the weather starts cooling and the snow gets ready to fly. I don't really do near as much rangering as I do in the warmer months because the camping falls off and this.
Rangering a
and that.
verb?
I think, and one of the little items I mentioned about pheasants is rooster. Of course, those roosters are going to hunker down for the winter in their roost there. And what they will do during the course of the winter while they're hunkered down is they'll start selecting their harem of 3 to 7 females and/or hens. And
Yeah.
it's bring me. So then I mentioned we're getting geared up to do our annual Babes in the Woods Women's Weekend Retreat.
Nice.
That's right.
Dan, and
never had a chance to go to this.
The response has been pretty overwhelming so far. Again, this is coming up the weekend of November 1st. Where this is taking place is super top secret. You'll get that information if you're one of the people selected. We do have limited space. We're limited to a dozen young ladies, so what we're going to have to do is start the process of elimination. Seems like we've had well over a couple hundred responses from the area. If you're a single female between the ages of 25 and 35, you're good to go. Single with no children, you're better to go. You have a current net worth exceeding 6 figures, you are great to go. Well, if that fits you, sounds like a little something. Keep in mind it is a women's retreat, but we only have room for a dozen women, and there are various reasons for that. Number one, money doesn't grow on trees. We're going to have to bring in supplies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, and this is huge, we will be shooting the 2020 Babes in the Woods Ranger Dan commemorative calendar.
That's why you need a dozen. I got it now.
So again, we'll announce more details as the weeks go on, headed towards that Babes in the Woods Women's Weekend Retreat. Compliments to good old Ranger Dan. Well, that's it. Hey, little Ranger, you know the drill. Stay in school, go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables, don't be playing soccer, and don't let me catch you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out? Yes, sir.
Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris back in the studio here.
Woo! Celebrities are fabulous. Worship them. Worship them. Oh, Water Cooler Talk.
This is Water Cooler Talk. We'll get to that in a minute, sir.
This is going really well.
We are all on the
Pull the
ball.
celebrity ripcord, quick. I should have just let him go. He was on a roll.
I was ripping it up pretty good.
There are probably some people who don't ever get a chance to listen to that because, they're driving to work right now.
Well,
and
now they know.
you know what
They
you're
got
missing
a
out
taste
on.
of what they're missing.
That's
Back
true.
in a few minutes. All right,
Okay.
hey, what do we have going on here?
Well, it's darn near Halloween time, John and Heidi. Those are your real names.
Yes, they are.
And you probably, spend a lot of time wondering, gee, I wonder what the most haunted places in the great state of South Dakota are.
I wonder.
I do.
Johnson
Could we
Hotel?
go? I
Alex
happen to
Johnson?
have a list.
All right.
It's a list. 12 most haunted places. I don't know if I'll get to them all because, well, hey, whatever. Right here in Sioux Falls, Orpheum Theater.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Yeah, it's very haunted.
Orpheum. Yep.
I read the story about it.
Yeah, there's some deceased guy named Larry who apparently runs around and
Custodian,
does
stagehand.
stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the one that we're wanting to.
No, that's the
That's the State
state.
Theater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Orpheum Theater, they already have stuff. That's where we go to plays and
Okay,
stuff.
so it's not like anybody's getting heads chopped off or anything. It's
We
just
don't know that.
somebody
They probably are.
spooky.
Nobody's talking about it. Mount Marty College.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you know the story there?
I do not.
Mount Marty sits on the bluffs overlooking the Missouri River. It's a Catholic Benedictine liberal arts college founded back in 1936. We were just kids. Paranormal tales seem to center on Whitby Hall, residence that first opened in 1955. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of a man who wears gray polyester pants, several men in blue suits, and a white mist-like figure with no defined shape. That just sounds like college kids are kind of liquored
Yeah,
up
I
to me.
kind of think so too.
Devil's Gulch, Garrettson.
Yeah, is that
Really?
haunted?
Is it?
Devil's Gulch, babies. Yep, local folklore states that the outlaw Jesse James leaped across it. I don't believe it, man. That's a
I've been
big
there. It's a big
People
jump.
been talking about it a lot.
They
but-
should really be saying that his horse jumped it because that horse would be a pretty impressive horse.
Well,
rocket
it's
powered, I'm guessing.
said to be haunted by the ghosts of two lovers
Really?
who died there in each other's arms. The story goes that sometime in the 1800s, an outlaw and a band of Indians kidnapped a lady named Nellie Harding.
Oh, wow.
took her to that particular gorge. Her fiancé managed to find him, was successful in often most of the kidnappers. Unfortunately, both he and Nellie were fatally wounded in the melee.
Aww.
And since that day, people say they have heard moans and screams, as well as seeing apparitions of the two lovers.
Yikes.
Bum, bum, bum.
What are they doing in the woods?
Moans and screams, I guess, if you gotta be
Dramatic reverb.
left in a gorge for all of eternity, at least be with somebody you love, huh?
Some joint called Easton's Castle in Aberdeen.
Never been there.
Nah, it's Aberdeen, so I'm going to skip it.
Okay.
The Homestead Opera House in Leeds
Oh.
is haunted. I'm guessing it's got to be along the lines of the Orpheum, right? Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah.
The Homestead Opera House thought to be among the most haunted buildings in South Dakota, with multiple visitors and employees alike reporting all sorts of paranormal activity, including hearing disembodied voices and seeing full-body apparitions
Wow.
of the resident ghosts. I happen to be a longtime friend of the executive director there. I think I will call her and see if this is just to get tourists.
See if we can
through.
line up an interview with a ghost.
Okay, let's
That
see.
would be cool.
Would be a whole lot of
The old Minnehaha Courthouse Museum right here in Sioux Falls, which is a pretty cool place, and I don't think a lot of people know you can tour that thing for free, and it's a pretty cool joint.
Yeah, there's some neat stuff. There's
It
a
really is.
Faywick flyer in there.
Staff and visitors alike have reported over the years hearing someone falling down the stairs. Guilty as charged. Man who used to step out. Hung his hat at Stelly's for a couple decades. But when they go to look, there's nobody there.
Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
Phantom footsteps moving from room to room. Some visitors also claim to have seen a man sweeping the floor of one of the courtrooms, who they say vanishes when they try to approach him.
Interesting.
Wow.
That is just a
We need to
neat
get
building.
a ghost to clean our place.
The old Courthouse Museum. And probably the biggie, and I've seen this featured on national TV a number of times, the Bullock Hotel in Deadwood, which
Yeah.
actress Sandra owns.
I don't think that's accurate.
Google it, John. Get off me, man. Whole town of Deadwood is pretty haunted. Few buildings from the town seem to be haunted more than most. One of those buildings, the Bullock Hotel, said to be haunted by its namesake, Seth Bullock, who also happened to be the first sheriff of Deadwood.
Sheriff Bullock.
Joined there by several other spirits as well. The basement is the most active area, where staff has reported several times hearing a piano play on its own, where
Weird.
glassware and dishes frequently get tossed around.
Whoa.
There ain't nobody visual tossing them.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So there you go.
Isn't the Alex Johnson Hotel on there?
I probably passed that
Oh,
up,
okay.
John. Is it anywhere near Aberdeen?
No, it's in, it's in the Black Hills, Rapid City.
It is? Oh, hey. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I figured that'd be on there.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it later.
Okay. Well, Dan, thank you for that list. Coming up, we'll get to celebrity news. It's like you wanted to do it earlier.
I dig deep. Yeah, I'm here
Thanks
for
for
it.
listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny. Coming up in a minute, we're going to visit with Mike Hucknall from Simply Red.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Very excited to visit with Mick Hucknall right now from Simply Red. Mick, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Fantastic. You've been making music your entire life, and you've got more new music coming out right now. What is it like, the new music that you're working on? How different is it from what you did when you very first started in the music industry?
Well, I wouldn't say it's enormously different. It's just it's soul. It's blue-eyed soul. It's soul, funk, and R&B. It's a mixture of those genres put together. And I am a blue-eyed soul singer from East Manchester in the UK.
Your career over the last couple of decades, you've done very, very well. And here's the thing that I like. I can tell that you absolutely love what you're doing. You guys love to perform, and I love the fact that you're still making music. I think that is a testimony right there.
Well, I feel I got the best job in the world. I love what I do. I love creating music. I love writing music. I love performing music. And I just feel I've got the best job I could ever possibly have.
Now, if you were going to talk to a young Mick Hucknall from, back in the day, that before your career took off, would there be advice you'd give to that young man, things to do different, or are you pretty happy with the path that you took?
Well, I'm very happy considering how the difficulty of growing up that I had. I could have gone the wrong way, but I was very lucky that I always had music as my best friend, and that enabled me over the years to build up a great career. My popularity is much wider, broader in Europe than it is here in the States, but we were still lucky enough to have managed to get 2 number ones here early on in my career. But my career over the years has focused mainly in Europe and in Britain, where we've had countless hits. I think we've had 23 top 20 hits in the UK. And here in the States, I'm known mainly for these 2 songs, Holding Back the Years and If You Don't Know Me By Now, which is really an awfully long time ago now. I think the last record was 1989, 88, when I had my last hit in America, whereas, I'm enjoying a great career in Europe and Britain for the past 30 years.
Well, we're big fans here at Sunny, and I know that the thing that's been, I think, just, again, really neat to me is to see the new music that you're putting out and how phenomenal this is, because you're taking, the same artist that had these number 1 hits a couple years back, and now you've got all this experience on top of that. And I think that the best music that you guys are doing is right now. Nothing against the stuff from before, but I think your best music is right now.
That's fantastic. That really means a lot to me. Thank you for saying that. And I hope that resonates with your listeners. And I hope that people out there are enjoying this new music. Very much so.
Now, with the new music that you're doing, you've got all these new avenues as well. So, think about how different it would have been in the 80s if we had things like YouTube and we had things like Facebook. We didn't have those, but we have those today. Are you seeing an amazing connection with your fans where you get to actually see what they think by looking at comments, or do you kind of stay away from that stuff?
Well, a little bit. But I look at something like YouTube, for example. SimplyRed have had over 1 billion hits on the various videos that they put out there. So it's great to know that the music is popular. I get hits from all over the world on that channel. So it's a lovely feeling, because it's not just people of my age. I'm 59 now, but we've got a lot of young people listening to the music. And when we see the shows, I look out at the audiences and the shows we do in Europe. It's a fantastic mix of people, some kids in their teens, and some people even older than I am. And it's a really great mixture of people that come to the shows and listen to the music.
Well, we've got you on our bucket list of one of the concerts we need to see, so we're hoping to catch you one of these days. But I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to visit with us here on the radio.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Okay. Warmest regards to your listeners out there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Again, Mick Hucknall's been our guest from SimplyRed. We're going to play some music from them right now as well. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Sunny.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. Thanks for listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Oh, let's give it up. Crazy go nuts, because celebrities are fabulous. Really get into the heavy-duty movie season now, because people rather go to a movie than run around outdoors, because outdoors is getting a little...
It's getting cold.
Getting a shifty out there. Number 1 movie, box office take over the weekend. Anybody?
I don't even know what's in the theaters right now.
Maleficent.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yes.
always the kid movies that do well.
Mistress of Evil. Yeah, it's like a fairy tale, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it
sure.
was a scary movie. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Most fairy tales are scary when you think about it.
That's true.
Here's a nice children's movie. Oh, look, the witch put Hansel and Gretel in an oven and
wicked
ate them.
stepmother's trying to kill her with an apple.
Sweet dreams, honey.
What do you mean you're having
Somebody's
nightmares?
locked in a tower and doesn't get haircuts.
Yeah, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
Right?
they're all pretty creepy.
Some woodsman just walks up and kisses a lady in the woods. Thought she was dead and he kissed her. Really? Is that the first thing you would do?
What big teeth you have, Grandma? Better to eat you with.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in there.
Sleep tight, Ethan. Mommy's going to go tear into that box of wine now. Anyway, Maleficent, that whole thing. 36 million to date. Joker bounced down to number 2.
Oh, wow.
But it's okay because it's made already $250 million.
Wow.
They're going to be okay then. They'll be able to pay that Phoenix.
Another remake, Zombieland 2.
Oh, yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Double Tap.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, that's up around 27 million so far, so it's not doing as well as they were hoping.
It looks good. I don't know that I'll go to the theater to see it, but I do want to see it. It looks good.
Animated The Addams Family.
Didn't know anything about that till last week.
That is at number 4. And that's sitting at about 57 million so far. The Gemini Man, that's Will Smith, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that ain't burning it up, but it's doing what it's doing at $36 million. And at number 7, I'm so proud of this, Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Downton. Which is the sequel to Downtown Abbey, which I felt was a far superior film. Downton Abbey at 88.5 million buckaroos.
Oh, Dan, thank you for that update, sir.
You bet I'm all over this stuff.
He's going to reach out later from downtown.
Downtown Abbey was a far better film. Hey, England, remember when you had an empire? What happened there, huh? Who screwed the pooch on that deal? Losers.
Oh, why didn't I just wrap it up earlier? Thanks for coming in, Dan.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.